The most common story that you guys share with me in the comment section is that you don't feel like you belong in your home country and you're planning to move soon. Sometimes it feels like the whole world is on the move. I know that I'm biased because I live in Portugal and I'm surrounded by people from all over the world. There's like 1 million immigrants here in Portugal. But what is happening to the world that so many people seem like they want to leave their home country with no intention of going back? What do you think? Is it just because it's so much easier these days to get a golden visa or a digital nomad visa? Or is there something else going on? Let me know what you think. I moved abroad by myself about a year ago with just 4 suitcases, and for quite a long time I wasn't sure if I made the right decision, if it was a bold move, or if I was just crazy. But about a week ago, I suddenly realized that I'm happy. Like, really, really happy. And not just happy, I'm even feeling calm. In fact, I realized that I'm so much more calm that my psoriasis has improved a lot. If you don't know what psoriasis is, it's an autoimmune skin disease and it appears on the skin in the form of red patches, not beautiful at all. I've suffered from it since I was in my 20s, and in the last few years it showed on my arms, and I felt a bit self-conscious when I was wearing tank tops or short sleeves because everyone could see it. But now it's almost gone, so it turns out that happiness is good for your skin too. You know how realtors always say location, location, location? Well, it turns out that location is not just good for real estate. I'm starting to think that your health and your happiness are also about location. If I hadn't moved from my home country last year, my life would have been completely different right now. I think that once you decide to be bold and take the leap, the universe starts to help you in ways that you couldn't even imagine before. This is a quote I love. The moment one commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events, meetings, and material assistance which no man could have dreamed would have come his way. I love this quote. It's by the head of the Scottish Himalayan expedition, William Hutchinson Murray. I feel that it's so true in my life. Magic always happens when you're bold enough to take the leap, and the universe will always reward people who are brave enough to do what they love. And I know that when I stayed in a place that wasn't good for me, a place or a situation, then I missed out on a lot of opportunities and I was compromising or accepting less than I deserve. You can't be scared to change things in your life. You're not a tree. You can move. In some ways, I feel like I'm living my 20s again now in my 50s. Maybe you feel the same. You know, once you've raised your family and your kids are now young people taking care of themselves, and now it's our time again. It's just another chance to live life the way you've always dreamed of. When I was in my 20s, I wasn't much fun. I was in survival mode. So, in a way, I feel like I've missed out on my 20s. So, moving abroad is like making my dreams happen, and it feels really good. But I want to also share the difficulties because it wasn't just all smooth sailing. It's very common to complain about bureaucracy in Portugal, but honestly, I know people who moved to Germany, people who moved to Italy, to Japan, and they all complain about bureaucracy. Maybe in Portugal things go a little bit slower but that's just because the slower pace of life, which I actually learned to appreciate here. So I think that bureaucracy is just an inevitable part of moving to a new country. So you just have to be prepared for it, that if you move to a new country, you're going to be in bureaucracy hell for 3 or 4 months, but then it's over. The other difficult thing is loneliness, especially when you're moving alone. I did struggle with that quite a bit in the beginning, especially in the evenings. During the day, it doesn't really bother me because I can do all my creative work, like writing my YouTube scripts, without any distractions. So I actually like it, but because I work from home, so some days I work most of the day by myself at home. So that can be a little overwhelming sometimes. Also, you feel alone because even if you connect with your friends and family back home, and I do video calls with them like every other day, but you feel like it's not the same as before. And it's not because of the physical distance, it's because once you made the move, you're not the same person as you used to be before. You've changed. So you feel like you don't have your friends and your community in the new place yet. And at the same time, you're feeling that you don't belong anymore in the place that you came from. Do you know what I'm talking about? I have lots of new friends now, and we get together almost every day, and it always makes me feel great. But coming back home to an empty apartment can be a struggle sometimes. And I noticed that I started spending a lot more time on social media, just scrolling mindlessly. I guess as a way to distract myself and push my feelings down. But now I'm still alone here, but I don't push these feelings away anymore. I just accept that it's okay to feel alone sometimes. It's part of making a big move, a big change. And I just try to do things that help me, like going to the gym every day, going to the beach, taking exercise classes, going to meetups. It's just a way to make sure that I shift my feelings. And I also learned to appreciate the time that I spend alone, because when we live with someone, we're always tuned to their needs too. And sometimes we lose touch with ourselves because we're more focused on the relationship instead of listening to ourselves. So I see being alone as an opportunity to listen to my thoughts and to find out what makes me happy at this stage in my life. So I want to remove a little bit of pressure off you. If you find yourself scrolling for too long on social media or overeating after you make a big change in life or after you move abroad, things that require you to be bold, it will probably happen. Just be easy on yourself because it's a new beginning and you're creating something out of nothing. So it's a lot of pressure. But when you look back on your life, you see that the times that you were the happiest are the times when you did things that were way out of your comfort zone. I so appreciate the quiet atmosphere and the safety here in Portugal. It seems like in most of the Western world right now, personal safety is at one of its lowest points. How crazy is that? What kind of a world are we living in that moving around safely in public spaces is not a given? The way I view the world right now is that it's going through a massive shift and everything feels very chaotic. For me, the fact that Portugal is a little bit out of the way, not involved in any world politics or in any strategic conflicts, that's actually exactly what I'm looking for. I realize that what's important for me at this stage is feeling safe and having a calm life. I see people coming here for vacation, they sit on the beach reading their book, and I'm like, I don't want to go back home at the end of the holiday. And then I remember that this is my home now, this is my life, and I don't need to go back. Life is so much more calm here, and I've changed in the last year and it feels really good. I'm so grateful that I took the leap because I wasn't happy and now I am happy. And I think that life needs to be lived like an adventure or else it becomes very boring. It's the best gift that I could give myself, the permission to be happy. I decided that happiness is eating mango on your balcony. What do you think? So what is it that you need to be bold about today? What's the decision that you've been putting off? Go watch my other video about how I completely changed my life in my 50s, and I will see you again very soon. Take care.